Dress like a pro. The bright lights and tall buildings of downtown Los Angeles setting the scene for us here tonight. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Moments away, it'll be the Phoenix Suns going up against the Los Angeles Clippers here at the Staples Center. This is Kevin Harlan along courtside with Brent Barry and Greg Anthony. We've got David Aldridge on our sideline. DA, take it away.
Well, guys, since Devin Booker's been in the pros, he's been able to show his ability to create. He said at Kentucky, all I shot was catch and shoot threes. I was fitting in with my team, playing off of others. But my dad always taught me the fundamentals. I don't want to rely on one thing. Being good at everything is how you earn your spot on the floor. Kevin?
He's doing it all, DA. Thanks. And now the opening lineup for Phoenix. Rubio and Booker. They're the backcourt. Saric and Ayton at the 4 and the 5. And it's Oubre in at small forward. And for the Clippers, under down low at 4 with Harrell in the middle. Beverly and Williams, the guard tandem. And it's George in at the 3.
And Devin Booker, where would the Suns offense be without him?
Probably bottom of the league if no Devin Booker slides on that Suns jersey. One of the purest shooters in the league and one of the most phenomenal young scorers that's come along maybe since Kevin Durant.
Pass to Ayton. And Rubio kicks to Saric. 6 on the shot clock. For 3, Booker knocks down the 3 ball. Booker's got the first 3 points tonight for the Suns.
Such a lovely stroke there from Devin Booker. He's a go-to scorer. A nice shot there from distance.
Rejected by Booker. And he gets it back. But he recovers it. Basket counts. Rubio with it. Knocked away. Stolen by Beverly. Jumps up. And oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
That's with the foul there. Ayton's powerful on the inside. At 7-2, he'll go through you.
Last season, the Suns made DeAndre Ayton the #1 overall pick in the draft. They had no hesitation, Greg, in making that call.
And when a player like Ayton, who was in the Rookie of the Year combo from the get-go, is available, you have to take him. Not only is the upside sky high for Ayton, but he was an impact player from day one for the Suns.
Free throw no good for Ayton.
And when you watch DeAndre Ayton, you really are just floored by how he moves. The amount of speed and agility he has for a player as solid as Ayton is doesn't come around very often.
Here's Rubio. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. Rubio looking it over. Passes it to Oubre. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Ayton. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts. And those physical attributes of Ayton are so imposing. Greg, who does he remind you of?
I mean, for current players, you see a bit of Embiid and how they both move so fluidly for 7-footers. From the past, I see a bit of David Robinson in his game.
Here's Booker. Paul George making his last shot. Shoots over Leonard. And the Suns tack on 2 more.
Lights out here, right out of the gate. Perfect 4-4 from the floor.
Here's George. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So 1 free throw coming up.
Well, great body control there. George, tremendous athlete, takes the hit, and he makes that one count.
Well, Brent, you look at the explosive numbers George has put up. A lot of it has to do with how he runs the pick and roll.
Incredible at his size and his ability to read the defenses in pick and roll situation. Anytime there's a defender that decides to go under on Paul George from the perimeter, he can let that thing rip from the 3-point line. Last year, I think you saw him with the most poise that he's ever played with in his career. I expect that to continue.
George, no good on the free throw.
And And last season for the Clippers, it was a collection of smaller guys who played big.
But very effective with those kind of lineups with shorter, very effective offensive players out there. And Lou Williams being a catalyst for what they were doing, coming off the bench and providing a spark. You know, in the fourth quarter, there was always an opportunity for the Clippers, if the game was close, to rely on Lou Williams to get the job done.
Stolen away. Here's Baines. Again, Phoenix.
And loving the confidence. Just rise and be free. And you know you can do this.
There's something to be said about knowing yourself. It allows him to shoot and shoot comfortably, even with taller defenders out there.
And here are the Clippers now after the Suns pick up 2. Tipped away. Here's Green. It's blocked. Okobo looking over the floor. Johnson outside. Four on the shot clock. Puts it up from 17, and it's Phoenix scoring again.
Now, there's some reliability in that mid-range shot from Tyler. Has terrific form on those shots in the in-between game.
Outside, George. The pass to Shamet. And he's going up for the alley-oop.
And what an alley-oop. Those two read each other so well.
It's a play I'm sure they love to run. And first time out of the game called for Phoenix. And a huge piece of the Tobias Harris trade last year, Brent. Landry Shamet shows a lot of promise.
Yeah, interesting for
Leonard comes in for George. Lou Williams is subbed in for Patrick Beverly. 1:02 left in the first quarter of the game. Here's Okobo. He's guarded by Williams. Pass to Kaminsky. And finished off by Kaminsky.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. Now, here's Shamet. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Shoots it. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops.
Can't let Lou Williams get those kind of looks, especially a guy who's a bulk scorer. That produces some confidence.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Ahead, here's Green, and Green slams it in.
I tell you what, they won't be down for long if they can get some more early offense like that.
Here's Johnson. Just 5 to shoot. Three-pointer. Another 3 for Phoenix.
Got to know when to change speeds and get to open gaps. That time Tyler Johnson does a good job off the pick and roll.
And so it's the Phoenix Suns heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. And we'll be back with you shortly. Versatility is so important in today's NBA. That works just fine for combo guard Tyler Johnson.
I don't really limit myself to one position. I feel like I can guard both positions. Being able to do that, I feel like I'll have the capability to fill in when needed.
And with all the switching we see teams, Greg, employing right now, that defensive versatility is highly prized, highly valuable.
And Johnson, an excellent athlete. He's got the tools to impact the game both offensively and defensively.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And taking a look at the Suns' performance here, guys, what have they been doing or not doing?
Well, going to the bench early, they obviously knew what they were doing.
Yeah, looking for a spark here, and the coach tapped the right guys to get out there and provide it.
On the court right now, second quarter starting for the Suns. Saric and Ayton at the 4 and the 5. Rubio and Booker, they're the backcourt. And it's Oubre in at the 3 spot. Brett, when you look back on all the stars you played against during your career, who was the biggest intimidator?
Well, I think about intimidating players, and the first word that comes to mind is Anthony Mason. I know he wasn't a bona fide star player, but
right.
you know the role that he had for
Yes,
the teams that he played with, and Anthony Mason was a player you did not want to be playing against. During my era, most of the years that I had some successes and minutes on the floor, it was certainly Kevin Garnett. The way that KG approached every game, and you spent many seasons watching him very closely, from year 1 to year 18 or 19, KG came at you every game, every night with the same kind of zest and excitement to compete.
Well put. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Lou Williams won 6th Man of the Year for the 3rd time last season. He joined Kevin McHale and Detlef Schrempf as the only players to win the award in consecutive seasons. And with the most career points ever scored off the bench, maybe they should just name this award after him. Kevin?
David, I'm all for it. Thank you so much. And boy, is he in good company. And here's Leonard from 3. And another 3 for the Clippers.
Amazing how far the shooting form has come for Kawhi Leonard. He just maintains his form on any type of shot that he shoots.
Green against Rubio. Near the 3-point line, it's Booker. Another one falls for Phoenix.
Now, what a great option he gives them on every possession.
A minute and a half gone here in the second quarter. Rubio with it. Williams picks him up. Rubio the pass to Saric. That one goes in. Saric has got his first points of the game.
And how about capitalizing there in close? Saric has the touch to take advantage from just about anywhere.
And the Clippers decide to take their first time out here.
And it was made clear early on to Ricky Rubio that the Jazz were moving on from him. But Rubio quickly finds a home in Phoenix. 3-year deal for Rubio, who is a good fit with the Suns. Having a real point guard on the team like Rubio should be a huge boost.
Los Angeles with some changes. Paul George, he's checked in for JaMychal Green, and it's Patrick Beverley in for Lou Williams. Clippers trail by 8. Saric with it, now guarded by Harrell. Booker outside. Rubio against Beverley. Rubio finds Oubre. The 3. Another 3 for Phoenix.
So big for this offense and crucial that Oubre can continue to knock it down from there.
Pass to Shamet. Leonard draws the double. Shamet the pass to Beverley. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back.
And I like the back and forth here, showing confidence from range.
It seems like they're going to find out who can make the deepest threes. Right now, it's a shootout.
And the Suns call time. And Brent, as you know, there aren't many players that can set a tone for a team, but Patrick Beverley is one of them.
And Patrick Beverley always embraces that role about setting the tone defensively on an opposing team's point guard, making sure that tonight, if you're going to beat the team that Pat Beverley plays on, you're going to have to go through them.
Zubac is checked in for Los Angeles. And for the Suns, Aaron Baines, he's checked in for DeAndre Ayton. Mikal Bridges comes in for Kelly Oubre, and it's Tyler Johnson in for Ricky Rubio. Now, here's Bridges. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Saric dishes to Booker. He kicks it to Baines. Shoots over Zubac, and he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down.
Well, Booker has established that he can score, and now showing that he can play make.
Beverley finds Shamet. Out of bounds, Clippers ball as the Clippers keep possession, and Phoenix making a change here. 3 minutes of action so far in the second quarter. A nice shot by Kevin Gelly.
Monty Williams, in his first stint with the Phoenix Suns, was a sought-after hire as a front office personnel member, was with the Spurs before going to Philadelphia, and has been a head coach in the league. Remember his days back in New Orleans with the Pelicans and a young Anthony Davis. So Monty experienced is going to bring that to the desert.
And so George will bring it up for the Clippers, trailing here by 8. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Harkless with the bucket. And that experience you're talking about with Monty Williams, it's why the Suns wanted him.
Well, Monty's experience in a lot of levels in this league, as an assistant coach, as a head coach, being in the front office, part of player development. That's an amazing calming influence for this young Phoenix Suns team to grow with.
Passes it to Okobo. Shot clock at 5. The Suns need to get a shot off. Fades back, and the basket by Kaminsky. Kaminsky's got his second bucket.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
Now Beverley. And the pass to Zubac. Swiped away. He lobs it up, trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. George against Bridges. From beyond the arc, and with that, the Phoenix lead is cut to just 5 on the basket from Harkless.
That's a pretty sweet dish there by Paul George, just selfless on that play.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Now here's Johnson. He's got 5. To the inside, Baines, and he banks in the layup. Baines has got 6.
Tyler Johnson is unpredictable at times. He knows where he's going, but the defense does not. He can pass or shoot it off that screen and roll.
And so it's the Phoenix Suns heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. They're feeling very confident, shooting the ball with great efficiency and dictating the pace. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Hey, Kevin, thank you. Kawhi, a big first half for you all offensively, but big first half for them, too. Any concern there?
They're still scoring pretty good, so we got to play better defense second half because we don't know if we're going to keep making the shots that we're making right now.
We'll see who can get some stops, Kawhi. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Good to see you back here on our halftime show. Well, actually, we can't see you, but you can see us, but you get it. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. You're watching the NBA on 2K Sports. Out in front of the half is Phoenix. They've got the 7-point lead. And over to Shaq. What did you think about Phoenix?
I don't think anyone expected to see such numbers from the bench. You know, I'm impressed. It was what they needed, a jolt they needed, Ernie. Wow, I never knew their bench. Matter of fact, I don't even know any of their players coming off the bench. Man, keep going, bench guys.
And Kenny, let's get your thoughts on the Clippers.
Well, they're giving up too many high percentage looks, Ernie. They're not closing down the lane, and they're not going hard on the perimeter. That will get an L in any book.
And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
Played through the first half. Plenty of basketball, though, left in this one. You gotta like what Devin Booker is doing in this one.
Really impressed with the shot selection through the first half. Just taking what he can get from the defense.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to the first half and wondering, did he take a low percentage shot? Everything efficient.
And for those of you just tuning in, thanks for being with us. The second half of this game still to play. Clippers trail by 7. The two stars, George and Leonard, fill up the forward slots. Beverly and Williams, the guard tandem. And Harrell's in at the 5. Home in the paint. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Doc Rivers. Here's Ayton, and Ayton throws it down.
Yeah, I know big guys dunking is easy, but it's still fun, Kevin. Ayton up there for the rim rocker.
Los Angeles has gone a very strong 4 for 5 from three-point land in the ball game. Last season, we saw Kelly Oubre get traded to the Suns. It was a surprise success for both him and the team.
Oubre came in and gave the Suns that defensive spark they so desperately needed. The long arms, he can get in the passing lanes, and he plays with tremendous energy, and they love it.
Here's Beverly after the made shot from Ricky Rubio. Here's Harrell, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. That one on Ayton.
And wow, you just have to love the motor on Montrezl Harrell when he's on the floor. Great on the glass, and he just plays with such a fire.
For Los Angeles, they have gone 0 for 1 at the line. This is their second trip to the line tonight.
And look back a season ago. They did a solid job at the line, about 79% of their free throws.
And he knocks down the first one. And with Harrell, you can see how his energy spreads to the rest of the team.
Reminds me a bit of what Fareed used to bring to teams. Harrell is also undersized, but boy, he makes up for it in so many ways.
Here's what the Clippers are going with right now. Green, he's checked in for Paul George. And Landry Shamet subbed in for Patrick Beverly. He hits one and misses one, each at the line.
The compliment that Harrell gets often is the fact that he's just so tireless a worker, and that energy is something that both coaching staffs and teammates appreciate.
And Brent, for all the success Booker has had as an individual, he's ready to focus on winning.
Well, focus on winning is one thing, but first focus on leadership, as this team has a new coaching staff, an opportunity with a lot of young talent. Devin Booker is the guy a lot of people are looking towards to make sure that Phoenix rises and finds a way into the playoffs.
What's up?
Free throw good, Booker. I'll grade the Clippers signing of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George the grand finale of the wildest summer in NBA free agent history.
A ton of big moves. You think of the star players who've changed teams. 1/3 of the league's all-NBA selections and 5 out of 10 of the reigning all-star starters. In the end, we saw 7 players who've changed teams, signing for over $100 million each. Put that in perspective. Only 8 players had ever done that in league history.
Now, here's Shamet. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Pass to Harrell. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
About Montrezl Harrell and the type of energy and effort that he brought last year to this team to help solidify, I guess, most of the culture piece of what Steve Ballmer wants this franchise to be about. That's playing hard, playing with energy, and having some enthusiasm for the competition. Montrezl Harrell wraps all those things up pretty nicely in the way he plays.
He misses the free throw. And Montrezl Harrell, Brent, beloved in the locker room.
Well, he's beloved because every night when you go out on the floor with him, you know what you're going to get. A guy who is incredibly competitive, passionate, knows his role, and plays with a physical presence that he doesn't shy away from anybody that's on the floor. That's infectious.
And he sinks the second. And the Suns call time here.
And he could tell his guys starting to wear down a little bit. Call time to just let them get their legs back under them.
Coming from everywhere these days, Brent, including the developmental league. The G League has done a wonderful job of watching players develop there and then vaulting them up to the big league.
And I think last year, Kevin, the numbers were that more than half the players in the NBA had spent some time in the G League. You want to talk about that league coming a long way?
What an impact.
Massive.
Yes.
And what you're seeing, too, over the past few years, Kevin, is people doing a great job of using the G League a lot better. Not just experimenting and lab ratting what that team is about, but really well thought out player development and stints for guys on their team rather than just practicing and traveling and sitting and watching games. You're watching guys go play a game in the afternoon and then coming up to the NBA level and participating in an NBA game that night. That's going to go a long way to make guys in the early part of their career take the necessary strides in a lot quicker than they normally would.
This two-way contract has been a wonderful addition.
Except if you talk to their agents, Kevin. Yes, it's been very good for the control of an organization to find that kind of talent.
And everything is dropping for them. Terrific second half run.
Well, with the confidence growing, that's one thing, but they seem to be getting more intense, and that's helping the quality of their play here.
Williams gets the bucket.
Well, you got to honor Lou Williams' shot from deep, especially if he's got other things going offensively. Has a great feel for when to pull the trigger.
Now here's Šarić. That's in, coming off an assist from Rubio.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
And the Clippers call time here.
And they're allowing too many points in the paint. Coach is going to let them hear about it.
Yeah, coach knows that. They know that. In the timeout, they're going to hear about it and make the adjustment.
Free Wi-Fi. Whoa.
And the Clippers making a change here. Zubac is checked in. And the Suns here with a different look. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Ayton. Sheck Diallo comes in for Saric. Bridges, he's checked in for Booker. And it's Tyler Johnson in for Ricky Rubio. And that one's good. Shamet.
Couldn't run the inbound play any better than right there.
Suns leading by 13.
And the Suns last year, second to last in defensive rating.
Well, a lot of that was points off of turnovers. They just could not take care of the basketball. A lot of teams feasting on young players and inexperienced players getting a lot of minutes for the Phoenix Suns.
The Suns shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight.
And just to mention, a season ago, they were very comfortable at the line, hitting about 78% of their free throws.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls.
Interesting that Phoenix has gone through all these different iterations since the loss of Hall of Famer Steve Nash, but this young core potentially coming together where they've bookended their front court and their back court with Ayton and Booker.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Robinson comes in for Leonard, and it's Patrick Beverly in for Williams. Now, Brent, looking at the Suns' future, Ayton's development could really determine how far they rise.
I think it's not all on his shoulders, but certainly as a big guy out there, to have a presence on a nightly basis and some consistency is the challenge for DeAndre Ayton. He has all the physical tools and by all accounts has the work ethic to go along with it.
And the first one drops.
Tremendous amount of excitement around the Clippers right now, and why not? 2 elite players that can play both sides of the floor. They were already talented and scrappy. You just wonder if this group, with some of the additions and subtractions, can come together in the same way that last year's group showed the type of cohesion that a team that wants to perform at elite levels needs to do.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. And Brent, over the last few years, the Clippers have had to replace true stars.
Pretty amazing with Chris Paul, DeAndre Jordan, and Blake Griffin not being in Clipper uniforms, how the organization has turned it around in such a short span to have the opportunity that it has in front of them now to go further than what those 3 guys provided for so many years in Los Angeles.
Here's Shamet after the Suns pick up 2. Zubac kicks to George. Hits the 3-point bomb. George has got 7 points in the game.
Paul George showing his offensive confidence right there, just letting that one go as soon as it touches his hands.
Here's Jerome. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
The Suns shooting the 6th attempt at the free throw line tonight. So for the Suns, Ayton comes in for Aaron Baines, and it's Saric in for Johnson.
One shot.
On the free throw, no good.
And thinking back to last postseason, the Clippers did not back down to the Warriors at all.
Well, LA was a much more physical team. I think they knew going in that the only way that they had a shot was to be disruptive, and they brought that on both ends of the floor. And that was going against a healthy Kevin Durant at the time. They took 2 games last year in that series, and the way in which they played, that spirit might have caught the attention of one Paul George and one Kawhi Leonard.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
And Tyler Johnson, a guy that can come off the bench and explode in terms of some scoring and change the pace of the game.
Montrezl Harrell, he's checked in for the Clippers. Williams comes in for Landry Shamet. Kelly Oubre's checked in for the Suns.
What's up?
That's good from Johnson.
So a guy goes undrafted and then signs a 4-year, $50 million deal. Tyler Johnson has worked very hard for everything that he's gotten.
Now here's Beverly. It's blocked, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Saric. Here's Williams. He's got 7. Lets the 3 fly. And again, it's the Clippers from deep.
And perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
Maybe trying to find a little bit more space and ball movement to get guys open at the three-point line. Yeah, that's one way to get back into this game. Keep getting him the ball and let him make the shots.
Here's Ayton. That's good, and it's Johnson with the assist. Johnson's got 3 assists now in this one.
The defense gets physical, but Ayton doesn't seem to get knocked off of balance. That helps him to keep the focus.
And so it's Phoenix holding on to an 11-point cushion as we get ready to take a break. Looking good at this point, but wanting more. We'll return shortly. And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
And definitely deserving of the prize tonight. How about the read he made here? Looking like a point guard, putting the pass right on the money.
So helpful to the offensive versatility when your bigs can create, freeing everybody up, and that cut was wide open.
And with the 4th quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. Suns leading by 11, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the 4th quarter. And Phoenix looking who they've got on the floor. Saric and Ayton at the 4 and the 5. Tyler Johnson is out there with Bridges, and it's Oubre in at the small forward position. And the Suns call time.
2 years ago, Paul George and his curious travels about where he was going to land in terms of free agency made his way back to Oklahoma City. And a lot of people were wondering why he made that choice. Then a year later, at the behest of Kawhi Leonard, the trade goes down where Paul George ends up back in Los Angeles with the Clippers. You talk about a two-way threat along with Kawhi Leonard. What an unbelievable wing combination the Clippers have with these two.
Booker, he's checked in for Bridges. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Hey, guys, I had a chance to listen to what Monty Williams discussed with his players. He said, this is where mistakes can kill us. This is where mistakes can turn this thing completely around. Protect the basketball and make the simple play. In other words, guys, no hero ball right now.
And with George last year, easily his best season as a pro in every measurable way.
You wonder in the next couple of seasons here, Kevin, if we're going to see the best of Paul George. Again, coming off that gruesome leg injury, him finding his form last year for Oklahoma City. A lot of talk about even Paul George being considered as an MVP candidate, and rightly so. Now back in Los Angeles with Kawhi Leonard. What a terrific duo they have.
And Ayton the bucket on the assist by Johnson. Johnson's got his 4th assist in this one. Clippers trail by 10. And here's Beverly. Kicks it to George. George double teamed. Got a piece of it. It's going to be out of bounds. Los Angeles will retain possession. Kawhi Leonard's checked in for Zubats. And Phoenix also making a switch. Rubio's checked in. Final quarter of play, about a minute and a half off the clock into it. 4 on the clock. Knocked loose. Oubre with the steal. Here's Saric, and slam dunk by Saric.
Oubre just does a great job right there of getting that steal.
So far, we've seen them be a bit careless with the ball.
Simply put, out of control is how they've played thus far. They're going to have to reel it in and show some more discipline.
Here's Harrell. Lays it up and banks it in.
He's going to keep coming and coming. Montrezl Harrell, relentless.
Suns leading by 10. That's tipped. Oubre kicks to Rubio. Oh, Ayton in position. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
Well, he's been doing it all night. Why not go back to him?
Yeah, he's feeling it. Keep feeding him until he misses.
Landry Shamet's checked in for Los Angeles.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Free throw drops for Ayton.
Last year being the 9th straight year that the Phoenix Suns and the fans in the desert have missed playoff basketball. But you have to like the young, talented group they're starting to assemble here and maybe settling in on a coach who will remain here to see it through.
We're in the 4th quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Leonard, again the Clippers. And of course, Brent, they also need to get the chemistry right in Phoenix too.
Yeah, I wonder how much of these coaching changes just haven't allowed some of those combinations to really come together. Some of the lottery picks have outperformed others, and they've lacked a lot of glue guys to make up that difference.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
And the gamble paying off. Now about Booker going high up for the dunk.
And so George will bring it up for the Clippers. 11-point game. Over in the corner, Beverly. And there's a minute 45 left to play here in the 4th.
A decent mid-range shooter when Beverly is looking to score. It can make him a little bit more dangerous.
Booker outside. Feeds to Saric. Good. A nice assist from Booker. 14 points for Dario Saric.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
Yeah, feels like Christmas right now, just gift wrapping points.
And the Clippers call time here. They're trailing by 11. We've got 1:28 left to play in the final quarter. player of the game, Dario Saric.
And in terms of his shooting, this has been one of the more accurate performances you'll ever see. I mean, he's been in constant motion, creating a lot of good looks for himself. But still, even when you're wide open, you expect to miss some of the time. That has not been the case here tonight. This guy has made everything.
I don't think anyone in this building saw this coming. I'm sure that of the players who these fans thought would beat them, his name was not at the top of the list. Here's Leonard. Another one falls for the Clippers.
Well, it's the golden age of point guards, and Patrick Beverley trying to show that he belongs amongst them. Great awareness on that play.
Beverley against Rubio. Pass to Booker. Oubre outside. Rubio with it. Leonard picks him up. Saric has the open look and a little luck that time, but it drops. Saric has got 6 in the quarter.
And at this point, just sort of running through the paces as it appears it'll be a nice win here for the Suns.
The differential in assists led to a lot of open looks, and it also helped to get more guys involved in the offense easy.
And they made the defense adjust, but they just couldn't come up with an answer.
And looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Dario Saric.
A big part of their success was his ability to keep the ball moving, finding guys when they would flash open.
Here's Ayton, and he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
Finishing strong. This is how you want to close things out.
Yeah, definitely putting a stamp on this one. A very, very decisive victory for the club tonight.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers.
One shot.
Free throw no good for Ayton.
2018, the first name called in the draft was one DeAndre Ayton out of Arizona. This guy is going to be around for a long time.
And Ayton throws it down.
But the truth is they've had control of this game.
Yeah, looks like a veteran team tonight, getting out on the road, playing with assertiveness, confidence, fully in control for this win.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Here's Harkless, and they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
Well, that play never gets old, Kevin. The pick and roll will still be an offensive staple 100 years from now. Trust me.
That's good from Harkless. Bridges with it. And so it's Phoenix easily grabbing this one. They came in here and took care of business like they were the home team.
And Kevin, how about the mental toughness that this group showed? They were never rattled at all by the opposing fans.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Brett Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew. We'll see you later.